It's alright. How's the vibe? Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, my new outfit's alright. DJ gonna deck playing hits. It's alright. Hi everybody, my name's C4. Welcome to the OoRITE podcast. I am joined by three lovely guests, and I just can't wait to get into the information, find out what's going on basically. So as you know, this is the lockdown edition. We're currently in the COVID-19 epidemic, so a lot of stuff's going on. We're gonna break it down. Can my lovely guests introduce themselves, please? Who wants to go first? Kieran, I see you smiling.
My name's Kieran Hamilton Amos. I'm an actor, movement director, and theatre practitioner from Birmingham. Just love the city, trying to put on for the city, to be fair. You know, especially in my industry, they always kind of push you towards London. But I feel like there's so much talent and so much happening in Birmingham and in the Midlands. I just want to really shine a light on that.
Excellent. Mara, your box just came on, so Mara, next.
Oh, okay. So my name's Amara, I'm 23, from Birmingham, always lived in Birmingham. At the moment I work in retail, but I also like to do design work on the side, because I did textile design at uni, so I'm just trying to push that a bit more.
Excellent. I see some in the background. Is that some of your work in the background?
Yes, this is my work.
Oh, okay.
And that one over there as well.
That looks sick.
I don't need
to. We're gonna touch on that in a bit. And then last but not least.
Hi, I'm Karen Creven. I'm the Chief Executive of the Active Wellbeing Society. I came to Birmingham when I was 25, and I'm 51 now. So I've lived here over half my life, and I can't imagine being anywhere else. And right now, that's not even a possibility. But do you know what I mean? I kind of Birmingham's got everything that you'd want from a city, apart from the sea. That's the only thing that Birmingham misses. It's the sea, but we've got plenty of canals, so that does me.
Yeah, I think we've got more canals than What's that place in
Venice?
Yes. See, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know that until this year.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, just how are you guys feeling at the moment? Have you had a good day? Positive, negative? Talk to me. What's been going on?
Well, I'm here in the office, and I try and get to the office once a week, and I'm here by myself now, but earlier on there were some colleagues and we were doing appropriate social distance, but it was so nice to see some other humans, you know, not just my family. So I've had a really nice day hanging out with people that I feel like I haven't seen for ages, even though it's only been perhaps a couple of weeks. But it was really nice to get back into the office and to just start talking about sort of stuff that wasn't to do with COVID. That was really nice.
Yeah, is this your first day back, or have you been? Is the first week?
No, I've been in and out of the office, and we've got a food bank going as well. So I've been in and out of the food bank. I try and make sure I leave the house a couple of times a week to do, I'm working at home the rest of the time. But I need that human interaction. You know, that's really important for me.
Yeah, definitely. I'm someone that stays indoors mostly. I've got my setup at home, so I do a lot of work here. But I definitely do miss the human interaction. I'm starting to feel it now as well. It's been over a month, hasn't it? So yeah, it's really crazy. Mara, how have you been today?
I've been all right. Despite the weather, it's been okay. So obviously we've had a lot of sun recently, so I feel like that kind of changes your mood a bit, when it's sunny. But today I'm trying to work out how to use Illustrator actually.
Okay.
Because obviously you showed me a few things, so I'm still trying to work around that. Trying to work on some well-being packs that I'm trying to create. So I've been keeping myself busy really. So I've been all right. I've been okay. A bit like you, I'm always indoors. If I'm not at work, I'm at home. So it's not really that much of a difference to me. But I'm okay.
Okay, that's good to hear. Good to hear you're picking up some new skills as well. Kieran, talk to us.
I'm good, you know. I'm good. As I said, I've not long had a daughter, so a lot of my time is being spent, you know, getting to know her and, you know, just being with her day to day. And even though, you know, COVID's happening, there's the positivity that I'm able to spend time with her, because if you look at like paternity leave, it's 2 weeks. So I would have already been, she was born April the 1st, so I would have been back to work already for 2 weeks, and I would have been missing these day-to-day interactions, her first little smile, the first time like she kind of rolls over, or, you know, just the doings of the day, and how she's changed, as me and Karen were speaking a bit earlier on, how she's changed from like day 1 to day 4, then day 4 to day 16. And, you know, it's a blessing that I'm able to see that. So I've just been enjoying her and just trying to do this dad life.
I can feel the joy coming through the computer. I can feel it.
that joy and tiredness.
Yeah.
That joy and tiredness.
No, but that's great to hear, man. I'm feeling the excitement, definitely. So, guys, we've gathered today. We're going to speak about just a topic I've been thinking about recently. You know, we're indoors. We're kind of getting used to it now. But thinking about the after effects of the lockdown now, do you guys think the city will be the same when this all ends? Or do you think things will be different? I'm going to throw that question back at you, Kieran. What do you think is going to happen?
I think inevitably things are going to change. I think in terms of government and legislation, I think the idea of hygiene and cleanliness is going to go through the roof. So this ideology of, you know, washing your hands every 20 minutes or something like that, I could really see that being an implication in schools and colleges and workplaces. But I think also as a city, Birmingham, when we have some type of whatever it is, whether it be carnival or unfortunately like the riots, or there's something that's a major shift, we really band together and we really get that community feel. So I'm hoping that after this lockdown, and because we haven't been able to have that human interaction, that when we do see people on the street, there's more of the humanity being shown. So even if it's your neighbor that you've never really spoke to in the last 10 years, but because you haven't been able to see them for the last month, you'll pop out at your window, be like, hello, you all right? How you doing? How have you been? Blah, blah, blah. So hopefully communication, community and cultures will be able to merge more, because we really do have that foundation of everyone has been through this, everyone has been affected, and we can all kind of grow from the same place. So that's the change that I see happening in Birmingham.
Yeah, that's you've touched on some important things, even just the community spirit in Birmingham. I think it's definitely strong, and I think recently, because of how fast-paced life's just been, everyone's just getting on with what they're doing. No one's really as much as it used to be back in the day. You just see someone on the road, say hello, you know what I mean? But funnily enough, you are saying that, but I think, yeah, this is going to go against what you just said. I do think it's gonna be, there are going to be some sort of precautionary attitudes and vibes as well. I mean, I'm selling some masks at the moment, so I go to the post office a couple times a week to send off the masks. And what I've noticed is you can just clear your throat. People are looking at you. You know what I mean? People are, oh gosh, he's got the COVID. You know what I mean? He's got the coronavirus. So I do think even when the lockdown ends, I do think there is going to be a bit of that kind of vibe. I mean, Karen, I see you nodding your head there. What do you think? What do you think the change is going to be?
No, I can really recognise what you're saying. I think that well, I have dogs, so I'm out every morning walking my dogs, and what I see a lot of is people kind of giving you a wide berth or not making eye contact with you. In Birmingham, what attracted me to Birmingham was that it's a really friendly city compared with London, where I'd lived for a bit before as well. You know, London was really offish, whereas Birmingham, for the whole last 25 years for me, has been a really friendly, very approachable city. Yeah. I feel like that's changed a bit in the last month or 6 weeks or so. People are a bit more wary of each other. So I recognise, I was nodding because I really recognise what you're saying about that. I do think there'll be awareness. I don't necessarily disagree with Kieran though. I think one of the things about Birmingham that makes us a great city is the community spirit and that sense of coming together around stuff. And I think that there's still space for that. I hope that Birmingham is different in some ways. I think we need to really address issues around inequality and poverty. And I'm really hoping that one of the things that happens as a result of this crisis is that we really sort that out. You know, it's not okay that so many people in our city are so poor, and we've seen huge hunger and, you know, massive need. I really hope that this is a wake-up call for us. And I also hope that we get a better relationship going with the nature that we've got here. We've got some beautiful bits of nature in the city, and I just don't think people connect with it enough and are aware of how precious it is. So, you know, I'm hoping that things are different, but better, not worse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When you say nature, do you mean like, for example, like the botanical gardens, or do you just mean stuff that's not really?
No, it's just stuff around us. I mean, I live in Sturchley. I walk the dogs down the Ray Valley cycle path every morning, and I'm walking this morning. You know, it wasn't raining. I've got a 6-month-old puppy, and she was racing through wild garlic. You know, down on the riverbank, there was chaffinches and other birds just kind of, you know, making nests and you know, just doing their stuff. There's all these trees. Blooming leaves. Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. And I'm probably, you know, 400 or 500 meters away from the Pershore Road, which would normally be absolutely rammed with cars going into the city centre that time of the morning. And yet I felt like I was down a beautiful country lane. You know, and then suddenly the dog, you know, like the dog disturbed a heron, and a beautiful heron takes off the water and flies down the River Ray, and it's beautiful. But that's right in inner city Birmingham, you know. And you know, and yeah, there's a bit of rubbish, and there's evidence that somebody dumped a fridge in the river further up. But there is still beauty in our city, you know, in our nature, in our city.
Yeah, no, you've touched on some really good points, and I think I'm one of the people that doesn't really go out much and explores that nature, so I'm guilty of that. So I definitely think I need to do more of that once this is over as well. Mara, what's your thoughts on what's been said? What do you think is going to change?
Yeah, I think at first, a little bit like what you said, I think people will be a bit wary at first, especially because I think when we do come out of lockdown, I think they're going to almost do it like bit by bit. So, for example, like if we are going to work, if we're going on the train, not as many people will be able to go on the train. So I think those kind of precautions makes you a little bit more nervous about catching it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think at first it will be a little bit, I don't know, but then afterwards you'll start to get used to it. Like once they start to probably like get us back into normal routine, it might be a little bit better. But I think perhaps people will probably change the way they shop, the way they work. Like, for example, with shopping, like we'd probably go shopping like twice, 3 times a week. And I think you start to realise like certain habits that you have, you don't actually need to do that. Like now we go once a week, and you start to think more about like just things like that, and even work, for example. I think a lot of people now, they're having meetings at home instead of having to go into work. So things can actually be done at home, and people can probably spend more time with their families. Like the guy was saying, like he's had a baby, and you miss out on so much when it's a new baby. Like my nephew, he's just been born a few months ago, and I've missed out on so much in the last like couple of months. And I think, you know, at least like now people actually get to spend time at home. So I'm hoping that, you know, they kind of work around that a bit more, so we can be more together, I suppose.
Yeah. Now you've touched on some good points. I mean, so even with your nephew, you said was just born, have you had so obviously you can't meet him physically, but I guess you will be doing like FaceTime calls maybe, or stuff like that. I mean, have you guys been doing that more with your family, having video calls and more interaction with your cousins or siblings?
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, I think I speak more to my cousins now and my friends now more than I did before. Because we're always talking on the group chat, we're always video calling my friends. Like last night we did like a Netflix party thing. There's an app where you can all watch Netflix together. So I feel like I've actually had more interaction now than I did, because perhaps because we have more time and we want to speak to each other more, make sure we're okay. Yeah. And my nephew, I've seen him on on the video chats, and they've actually come, like they live just down the road from me, so they've actually walked up to my house, and I've seen them outside, like outside the gate and stuff. Said hello that way, but yeah, it's just when I see him, I just want to hold him, but I can't. So I can't wait for things to go back to normal.
So I've definitely been missing that, real life human interaction as well. But I guess the virtual way isn't too bad. But definitely can't wait to do that. So Karen, have you been keeping in touch more with your family that way, or has it been a bit different for you?
I suppose I've spoken to my dad or messaged my dad every day. My dad's 75 in a couple of weeks, so I think I've made more of an effort to just touch base with him and let him know I'm all right and check he's all right.
Yeah.
But I must be honest, I felt quite lonely during all of this. I find that I'm spending all day on Zoom in meetings for work. I get to about 7 o'clock and that's all done. And the last thing I want to do then is go back on a screen to speak to my friends and family. So I had to give myself a bit of a talking to at the weekend, because I realised that I really have, probably for the last 3 weeks, only really spoken to people at work. I haven't made an effort with my friends. And while I can completely know why, I'm just knackered in the evenings. It's not good for you, and so I do need to try and make a bit more time for it. But to be honest, I think the way that I've been living since all this struck, with the work that we've been doing at the Active Wellbeing Society, we've just been busier than ever, and I don't think that's everybody's experience of this. I've got friends on Facebook who are saying things like they've taught themselves the violin, or they've read all the books that they've had on their bedside table, and part of me just wants to kind of punch them. It's like, I haven't had time to do any of that. Do you know what I mean? But that's my own fault, because I shouldn't. I've had a choice in what I've done, but there's been times when I felt lonely and I've missed my friends. I'm a bit like you've said, really. I kind of miss the physical presence of people. I see a baby and I would want to give them a hug. I completely get it, Amara. And I'm looking forward to that bit of us coming out the other side of this. I want to sit in a pub garden with my friends and not be worried that we're not 2 meters apart or whatever. I don't want that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good that we're having this conversation, because we're all from different walks of life. We've all got different families, you know what I mean? And we've all got different experiences, but I guess we'll never know until we come together and speak. So Karen, I had no idea that was someone's reality as well. I thought it was all just indoors and, FaceTime and that. So it's good to hear that angle as well. So thanks for sharing that. Kieran, how's your experience been? Have you had the similar experience to Mara, or has it been similar to Karen's experience where it's more work?
It's been a bit of both, It's been a bit of both. So I'll talk about work first. So with work, because I'm an actor, like I had 3 shows that I was doing movement directing and cancelled. So obviously, when you're going into these theatres, there's it's 800 seater, 500 seater. So social distancing doesn't work in those environments. So in my head, as soon as the lockdown came in, I'm thinking, well, this is going to be me for a while. There's going to be nothing. But again, there's been a real rally for creativity and finding new ways. And at the time, I was the head director at Lightpost Theatre Company, which is an all-black male theatre company with the Birmingham Rep that looks on mental health and well-being within the Black community, especially young men. And we were just in the process of writing a play and all of that, and we're thinking, it's going to stop. This is it. But again, like Karen, we've been in Zoom chats, and it's been tiring. It has been tiring. But I think by having that interaction and knowing what those types of groups and community groups meant to those people, you see how important it is, so you don't feel isolated. So work has been coming in. Like even today, I got offered a short film that I'm going to film from my house. They're going to send the equipment. I film my scenes, send back the equipment, and they edit it together. So without the lockdown, I wouldn't be in that situation, which is, it feels weird. But in terms of family, it's been quite difficult because I'm a very family orientated person. You know, every Friday I'll be at my cousin's or my grandma's, or, you know, we'll go to this cousin's house, or we go to Manchester to see this person. So it's a bit weird. So having my baby and none of my parents or grandparents can come and see and hold her. So like my nan's 98 and she's only seen her on FaceTime, and, you know, you don't want to think too bleak. But I'm like, yeah, my nan's 98. How long is this lockdown going to last for? I need to, you know, get that family interaction. So it's been tough, but also, you know, we're just trying to keep the camaraderie and see the positives that we are fortunately healthy and in better positions than some. So we have to count our blessings, really.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh yeah, it's been a mad experience for everybody, in good ways and in bad ways as well. But I think me personally, I've had a lot of interaction in terms of WhatsApp. So I've been speaking to my cousins a lot on the WhatsApp group. Obviously Mara's Mara's my cousin.
Yeah, I know all about it.
We've been having a lot of cousin jokes and all of that stuff. Work-wise, it's actually been good, because I came into the year, I had an excellent year for myself personally when it comes to music and when it comes to art and all of that stuff. I ticked off my whole wish list at the start of the year, apart from getting engaged, which I did this year before the lockdown, which was, thank God, that happened. Imagine if I was trying to plan it after when the lockdown could get that would have been mad. So yeah, but on a business side of things, it's been really good, because I said I had a good year last year. Came into this year, I felt exhausted. I was just like, I've got plans, but I've got no energy to execute them. I don't know what I'm doing. I felt lost. I felt like I had a lot to offer, but I didn't know where to kind of put that energy. And then the lockdown happened, and then it was like, oh, the world stopped. So everyone's kind of, you know what I mean? Everyone's kind of in the same predicament now. And then opportunities just kept on coming and coming and coming. And I felt like, oh, so this is the energy that I've had from the start of the year. And I'm putting it into a lot of things now. I've had a lot of art commissions. Even starting this podcast was another thing. Musically, I've had a lot of stuff going on with that as well. So my masks, started selling my masks as well. So it's just been a whole bunch of things happening at once. Right now, I am overwhelmed. There is a lot of things I need to complete, but that's the life of a creative, I guess. So it's a blessing. But yeah, the lockdown for me has been good on the business side. Family wise, as I said, the cousins grew, and I still live at home, so I'm around my family. Just a regular. It just feels like a regular time, but I actually can just stay at home working now. So it's been good in that sense as well. So yeah, I want to kind of leave this podcast on a positive note. We've all said positive things, and I'll be honest, I've really enjoyed this conversation with you guys. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like this has been really good. I wish I could continue for the next, you know what I mean, half an hour or whatever, but we do need to wrap it up. So, can you guys all just say one positive thing that's happened during the lockdown, and we can just leave on that note? I'll let whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. Well, I'd say during lockdown, I've managed to really focus on my design work, which is what I've always wanted to do anyway. So having a break from working and going to retail, I'm actually kind of like living more of the life that I want to live. So I'm quite happy at the moment, but yeah, I can't wait to see my family again.
No, I definitely agree with you. It's good to take a break and just, you know, focus on stuff that you actually want to focus on. Who wants to go next?
You want to, Kieran?
Yeah, I'll go next. I think the positive thing that I've taken out of this is that the world was moving so fast and my mind was moving so fast with it, that now that I've been able to stop and pause, I'm really thankful for all the things that I've got, my wife, my child, my house, and just those interactions with the people that are closest to me in my household. I'm finding that genuine connection again. It's not just go to work, come home, have dinner, talk for 10 minutes, then we go to sleep. I'm getting to know my wife again. I'm getting to know my daughter. I'm getting to know myself again. So it's a real development on that. So that's real positive. Just allowing my time just to stop, relax, and just soak everything in for once.
Powerful. That's powerful. I think we can all definitely understand what you're saying there. Just appreciating the family more and just slowing life down a bit. You know what I mean? That's definitely important. And yeah, Karen, can you?
Much the same, I have to say. I was sitting here thinking, you know, like the one thing I suppose that I'm really grateful for, and there's lots that I'm grateful for during this time, but one thing I'm really grateful for is that because I'm working at home, I'm around my daughter more, and just in those kind of incidental, you know, I'm in the kitchen working, she comes in the kitchen, we chat, she goes again. You know, she'd have been out of college, I'd have been out at work, and we wouldn't have had that time. And it's meant that then later on when we do spend other time together, it's even deeper and more meaningful. So I've really got to enjoy my relationship with my daughter, and I did anyway, but I've got to enjoy it at a whole nother level, really. And so that's been lovely. And so I'm really grateful for that, and for having a roof over my head and all that sort of stuff, but particularly my daughter. Yeah, that's been great.
Nah, that's lovely to hear as well. Definitely. I think yeah, I think we're gonna end it here now. I just got a pop up saying you got like 9 minutes left to film. So. Thank you guys for joining me. You guys,
Thank you.
You made an evening, actually, still afternoon. You made my afternoon great, and just filled with positive, and you know what I mean, all of that stuff. So positivity, all of that stuff. Yep. So I'll let you guys say goodbye to the audience watching.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. It was good to get a chance to meet you.
Yeah.
And you.
Guys, thank you guys.
Bye now.
How's the vibe? Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, my new outfit's alright. DJ gonna playing hits, I'm like, vibes right. The vibe is right.